All right, well, we're going to go back to a big story we've been talking about since last night and this morning. Target. The company takes that step of closing stores in 4 major cities. They decided to close 9 stores total: New York City, Portland, Seattle, and San Francisco. And the company claims this is because of organized crime and theft, which Target says made running those stores, in their words, unsafe and not profitable. But organized retail theft, that's been an issue here in Minnesota, and Target's announcement comes as law enforcement and retail leaders from across our region came together to talk about changes in Minnesota aimed at curbing those crimes. The Minnesota Organized Retail Crime Association, that's an organization. They had a 2-day conference today. Kent went to it to talk about all this. Hey, Kent.
Hey, Jana. Yeah, bipartisan legislation aimed at fighting organized retail theft passed this spring, and it just went into effect in August. It adds much stiffer penalties, including prison time, for crimes involving multiple people and multiple thefts. But in order for the new law to work as intended, retailers, police, and prosecutors all have to be on the same page and work together. And that's what today was all about.
No matter how chaotic it can sometimes appear, local investigators say organized retail crime is often what the name implies.
It is these organized groups where you have 2, 3, 4, 5 people going into a store. Some are distracting, some are causing issues in one part of the store, so other people can be doing the stealing in a different part of the store.
Eagan Police Detective Dan Spees has investigated some of the biggest theft rings in the metro area recently, including an out-of-state group charged in connection to a series of local Best Buy thefts.
What I attribute it to is this is their job. They go out, they steal, they sell. This is how they make their money. They wake up the next day and do it again.
And he says he came to this 2-day conference because it takes organization to take on that type of organization.
The cases that I'm currently working on, they've hit all over the metro. So now it's just putting all those pieces together from multiple retailers, multiple dates, and then providing that to the attorney's office in order for them to charge this new statute.
That's got to be a level of complication that takes a lot of time.
It does take time, and it also takes effort, and that's one of the other things that this conference does, is it's just bringing people together. So now an Eagan police officer has contacts at X, Y, and Z retailer, or I'm now communicating more with the analysts that are on the West Metro or East Metro or North Metro, and it all comes down to the information sharing.
The president of the Minnesota Organized Retail Crime Association says that's exactly why this gathering is vital.
A chance to educate the retailers, the law enforcement, the attorneys that are in attendance on how to use this law and how to use it effectively right from the get-go.
Cody Johnson says consider the fact that Target is pulling out of New York City, Portland, and Seattle, despite New York, Oregon, and Washington being among 34 states that already have organized retail crime laws on the books.
So why would they pull out of maybe some of these cities within those states?
Really what we're seeing there is a little too late.
Because despite having tougher laws at their disposal, he says those cities haven't always used them.
These groups are organized. They do almost counterintelligence. They know where they can get away with these things, and when you hear a prosecutor or a city or a mayor or whoever say something like we won't charge these crimes, that just is an invitation for these criminal groups to go there and raise havoc.
Now, a new report from the National Retail Federation just released this week gives a little more perspective here. It found that losses from both internal and external theft last year were pretty much on par with historical trends nationwide. But the same survey found that reports of violence connected to theft are increasing, and that is what has retailers and security experts so concerned. Jenna, that's what we've heard from Target as well in these statements.
Yeah, there's a part of that I think that isn't getting talked about as much, so I'm glad that you pointed out. Target used that word about safety, and so I assume they're alluding to that.
Yeah, that's what they're alluding to, and we heard that today as well. The detectives and some of the things that they're working on charging right now since that law went into effect, they said they've seen that violence also increase. It's not as many of the flash mobs here, but they are seeing more violent encounters.
Okay, thanks so much, Kent. Appreciate it.